in my left hand is a receipt for my purchase of Sidelined.
Ooh.
I bought 3/15/2021.
Okay.
Sideline, Sports Culture. Oh, Big Nate as well. I got a book for Harry. And an IBC root beer for myself that day. It's back in my free will and calorie days.
It's like, what a day.
Yeah, not bad. Entire Sideline cost me $27.
Jesus.
I mean, god damn. 20. This woman should be on her...
Well,
She should... No, she shouldn't. This woman should be thanking us every single day for the publicity we gave this wretched woman. I mean, there is no worse person... Give me a name. On Earth. On Earth.
living?
Anytime.
Oh, I mean, Adolf Hitler.
No.
Stalin. He killed more people.
He wrote a better book than this, Hitler.
That's true.
Yeah.
Stalin killed more.
That's what you're reading next,
Better or
Justin.
worse?
Mein Kampf, beginning to end. We'll have Steve do it. Bring him out of retirement.
Which is better?
I mean, and so she's suing Barstool. I guess, I don't know any of the specifics. We're going to talk to Michael Portnoy, Esquire, at 11:15.
You really get to the bottom of it then.
Yes, to break things down. I saw people on Twitter say he actually blocked them for the toilet paper stuff.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, he takes that very seriously.
Well, he's been fighting. He's like Reuben Hurricane Carter.
Yeah.
He's been trying to clear his name for 2 years now.
It amazes me that he can compartmentalize them. Like, hey,
when
this
that
guy
kinda-
slandered me, but he's also,
When you have that kind of legal mind, you can do 20 things at once.
Right.
So Julie DiCaro, who wrote this book, which honestly had some parts we said weren't that bad. Like the chapter about
the
Kobe Bryant
thing,
was good. All this other stuff.
Called out ESPN.
Called ESPN.
Yep.
I think about stuff like this all the time. Everyone's like, "Oh, Manny Ramirez come back to Fenway today. He's fun. He's a man child." It's like, well, he beat up his wife. I don't know. Like, when is it important? When isn't it?
Ancient history.
Like Mike Tyson was like, I think part of Shark Week, like wrestling a shark in a cage or something.
He's a fun-loving guy.
There's a cuddly, Zach Galifianakis won't work with Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
But they'll work with Mike Tyson. Stuff like that. I think Julie and I are in lockstep on that.
Right.
Now, that being said, she hates us. She hates me. She hates Barstool. She goes into full detail in her chapter of the book, which you can go buy. But we had Justin read it out loud in its entirety with some editorial notes on his part and some, not many, but some mispronunciation. I don't know if you remember that or not, Mike. But
Yeah, should you be admitting to this?
What do you mean?
Because I think you could. I'll ask, your legal representation.
Sure.
But I think you could easily make the argument that he wasn't reading anything. It was
true.
incoherent.
It was more a study of illiteracy, really. And what college did he
My
go to?
voice role model was Sigourney Weaver.
Right.
Now, is there a chance that gets played in court?
I hope so.
Because
Well, this will never see court. Like
come on, you got to give us hope.
I mean, I'd love for it to happen. I do think there's a chance, a really good chance, that I'm sure Dave, somebody else there, myself, and Justin will all be deposed, though. That is going to happen.
Really?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Will
for sure.
Justin be?
Yeah, he read it. Yeah, I
Because
think.
was Steve involved in
Steve,
the?
I think, as well could be deposed.
But
yeah.
in the Cullen thing, did you guys have to give depositions? Or?
No, but this is, I think this may be different. I think. I could be wrong, but...
That'd be nice.
Yeah, I hope so.
Just has to read his deposition.
Justin was on, and so Justin read the whole book.
Suck my peen, bitch.
Justin was on the wrap-up show last night when news broke, and I watched a few minutes of it this morning. He was so rattled. You could tell he really thought this was like a bad thing.
It's tough to tell with him though. It is because he
Is he
always
here?
He's always rattled.
He always comes off a little nervous.
No, but I could tell he was not focused. He was concerned, I think.
I think you could spin this into almost like a hate crime of sorts. Like if we
Absolutely.
spin this, and there's no, I think Justin's a very mentally capable man, but if the people
Sure.
don't know that, and we spin this as sort of a mentally challenged guy,
Could do something.
I think then Julie comes off as the villain.
Justin, you seemed rattled to me on your show last night.
Oh, very much so.
Okay, turn your mic on, stupid. These two idiots at work. Look at them, they're trying to...
Very much so.
Yeah, why? It's fine.
Oh, it was just sudden. It was like,
Well, it's not like you're being sued.
I know. It was just.
So what are you rattled about?
I don't know, just going to court or something.
I don't think you have to go to court. You may be deposed.
You might.
You and I might make a New York trip together, though.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what, if we get deposed for the New York trip, you and I'm calling my buddy at Retrix Air, my pal, you and I are flying private to New York.
Wow.
And we will have a whole day of it.
Oh, look at
I
that.
cannot, well, you'll probably take the train. But I cannot,
In lieu of salary.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait to be deposed for this. Please, God, please let this happen. Forget me, though. Please let Justin be deposed for this,
Yeah.
please. I mean, that's all we want.
It was fun just to watch like Smitty and Portnoy's things for Rappaport.
right.
This is a whole new level.
Correct. Because like you have like, it's like 20 different layers of what's going on.
Yeah.
Like, here we go. Ready, Justin?
Yep.
So the date is July 20th, 2021. I'm Kirk Minihane. We're deposing Justin Trudeau. Justin, tell me your relationship with Julie DiCaro.
Well, first I would look to my lawyer to make sure.
Okay, forget it. You're not going to do this. No. See you later.
He's got to be
All
on.
right, we're good. We're good. Look to my lawyer. A lawyer.
Mike Portnoy Esquire.
That's true. We'll have our whole legal team back. So, this counts as a suit against us, of course. I mean, if we're being real.
Yeah.
So that's 2 lawsuits in a little over 2 years. That's not bad.
How many times has Kevin been sued?
Kevin, a lot.
Clancy.
Yeah.
Oh, a lot.
Do
Okay.
you hear about it?
Well,
Like,
no,
that's
not
the
since
thing.
he's become like, like a
Oh, of course.
like a little
I'm
cuddly toy,
I'm thinking
you know.
scoreboard here. Like how much more do you have to,
long way. But we're talking profile-wise. We get the good ones.
Sure. Yeah.
But I need to see the documents. I'm sure Mike Portnoy has not seen them. I'm not even sure Mike Portnoy is aware of the lawsuit.
You'll be informing him.
It's very strange that he's on their legal team. I mean, I know he's Dave's,
In a way, it's
Dave's
not.
dad. No, it's
Yeah,
perfect.
it's perfect.
It's perfect.
It was an interesting converstion with Mr. Portnoy this morning.
Well, we'll have another one here in a little bit.
Called him Steve 9 times.
True, probably true. But this is why I say all the time I love working here. Like, if this happened in Intercom, they would treat this like you can't say her name, can't go on the show. You know what?
Don't mention it.
You know what, Kirk? This isn't a suspension, but just take the rest of the. It's the summer. Go up to Maine, play some golf, and then just come back Monday, and then the whole thing will blow over, and they'll settle with her right away.
Yeah.
Dave tweets about it. And is like this, and he's like, I know Kirk will go nuts. I'll stick a fork in my eye before I settle with this one. That's why I'm like, I will work here. Like, I'll never work anywhere else again. I love working for this company. When Dave does stuff like that, I'm like, this is why I love this guy. This is why I love this company. Right. And I've talked to 10 lawyers maybe in the last 4. I don't know. When did we find out? 16 hours, say, whatever.
Yeah.
All of them have been like, this is baseless. Like, it's actually like, this is just sad. Like, I will say this. If Julie DiCaro's life mission wasn't telling lies about me and other people and saying I'm a racist when I'm not and coming up with bullshit and shitting on me when I was, going through my stuff. I mean, just a fucking, there's a word to use for her, right?
Sure.
So, just the worst. She's the worst. The worst. I would feel bad for her if she was just a little more sympathetic because it's obvious what's going on. Like, I mean, I don't need to get into super specifics, but, she's sort of the inverse opposite of what I once said about Erin Andrews, where if she, I think, had a different appearance, she may be a little more playful, if that makes sense. I think she has a lot of insecurities. I understand that. I have sympathy for her for a lot of people. I don't for her because she's a terrible person. But I think a lot of it rooted is in her insecurity. And so she tried to take other people down, and she makes shit up, and she takes cheap shots. And then she runs and hides and covers under being a woman where, if Kevin Cullen wrote a book, a memoir, you don't think I'd have fucking Justin read that thing the day it came out?
Of course.
Of fucking course. There's nothing. The fact that she's a woman is her. It's her hang up, her issue, her definition. That's how she does it. It's how she's written books. It's how she has a career. If she was as talented as she was and she was a man, she wouldn't have a book deal. She wouldn't have a job. It's only because she's a woman. That's it. That's the only way she's gotten into this business, ironically. And she's made a career out of it. And she can do that. And she'll wind up 10 years from now, she'll be a professor somewhere, and she'll do weekend radio still. And she'll still do her thing and have her spots. And when something happens, like the Rachel Nichols thing, she'll weigh in and all that shit. But I mean, make this very clear. This is a terrible human being we're talking about. Terrible human being.
The often racist, sexist, and generally offensive comments shared on WEEI during the Kirk and Callahan show.
And I would ask her, she called me a racist in her book. She's welcome to come on here anytime she wants. I mean, she sucks on the air, but we'll try and drag her through it. And just give me an example of me being racist.
No, because you'd bully her. Already, the shit, I thought Dave's tweet was great, but she can already use that to be the victim and say, look at how they're talking about it. If it was a man, they wouldn't say this.
Right.
Over the weekend, remember we talked about the TikTok star who was doing the UFC thing?
Yep.
She introduced herself to Donald Trump at the UFC event, and she basically got canceled from the internet. Of
course.
She got bombarded.
Of course.
With Addison. Just bombarded.
That's where we live in. And
It's
Julie,
all it is.
Julie DiCaro, that's the way, that's how she operates. That's her life, is she gets mad at people for having opinions, but yet she just wants to, take people down. That's okay. But I mean, this lawsuit, if you think about it, So Justin read her book. Okay. It was on YouTube. Okay. I don't know how many people viewed it. I have no idea. Do you before it got taken down?
Hundreds, maybe thousands. I'm not sure, but not.
A couple of thousand, say?
Yeah, I would think.
I would say at least 5,000. It kind of went around. Yeah.
So if every single person who watched that was going to buy her book, which is not true, no one who watched that was going to buy her book, nor, which I can't prove, neither can she prove, by the way, those people were going to buy her book. So you have to then assume that everybody watched the entire thing, which I think was like, Dave texted me last night, Portnoy, and said, did somebody read it for 6 hours? I think it was 6. Ask Justin, Dave. I think it was 6 hours, right?
The Iron Man.
7?
7, yeah.
7 hours.
7 hours.
So nobody watched the entire thing for 7 hours.
Oh, contraire.
So like, and in her mind, every single person there was going to buy that book. So she, I guess, wants to be compensated that total.
So that's the amount. They did the math on 27. How much does a regular book cost, by the way? Like a real book?
A hardcover book that just comes out is like that. This is $27 this book.
Okay, that seems
$27. I'll say, I will humor her and say 4 people who are going to buy the book didn't because Justin read it. Okay. So I will write her a check for $100. No, I'm sorry. $108.
Yeah,
I'll do it.
It's pretty good.
That's fine. I don't know what else. Like and I talked to lawyers, last night, and they were like, I actually don't know what her case is. She doesn't have a case.
Well, it would also, if anyone, be against YouTube. No, like it was broadcast on YouTube, not on Barstool Sports.
Also true.
And they took it down, which is what they would do. If I go on and today, I could go on and broadcast a fucking Bruce Springsteen song if I wanted to.
Of course, people do covers of them all the time. Yeah, people do. I mean, and people there are people reading books, and her own company had their relaxed whole thing during COVID stuff where you could read the books on YouTube. But it doesn't matter. It's just sad. It's really, really sad that this woman is doing this, and it all comes from a place where she's insecure about other stuff, and she's turned it into this for a career. And good for her. She's made some living on it because she's shamed enough people into thinking that they'll be called they'll be called sexist if they fire her, or they don't hire her, or they give her a job. It's all based on that. She has no talent. She's awful. I mean, she brings nothing. We've heard her. She brings nothing to the table, and that's not
Minihane described me as a humorless asshole.
Yeah, I would stand by that. A humorless asshole.
It's amazing.
It's something different hearing her say these things.
Right.
Like,
I mean, thank you, Julie. I'm glad that's a very good job. I called her joyless earlier today to somebody else. She's a humorless asshole. And she is, and she's mad about nothing. I mean, she's mad about things that are pretend. Barstool has done nothing to her. Not a single thing. But she knows, as did Joe Curtatone, this is how you get attention. When was the last time we talked about Julie DiCaro's stupid fucking book after it came out, after Justin? I bet you it hasn't sold 1,000 copies.
No, that's what I think twice we mentioned, like, what's it ranked or whatever. And that was the only time.
What's it ranked today,
that was the only
Dave?
time it even came up.
It was like 160,000 on Amazon. I think last night it was like 85,000. Apparently it
went up.
Tanked.
Well, it probably went up after the lawsuit was announced, maybe.
No, I looked at it this morning.
down.
160,000. It went down. It went down.
There you go. Well, who
People
knows?
started returning them.
Yeah. She hasn't sold. I mean, you know where these books sell?
Where's that?
Colleges. Like
Oh,
women,
really?
women media,
Yeah, I
women,
guess.
like bullshit like that. And that's how she makes her living, preying on these idiots in education and these students who are going to go there and listen to her. She's never done a fucking thing in her life. She's a fucking weekend AM radio host.
I was just going to say, the idea that she's being oppressed, she's easily the most popular. I called her show a few times, so I know
Right.
how long it is. It was 2 hours in the middle of the night, and then she did a weekend show once a week.
Yeah.
Easily, with that schedule, that easily the most popular person in the country, I would think, right?
Oh, no question.
More people know her name than, I don't know, Chris Villani. I can't think of a person on the weekends in Boston.
Well, she did that thing that she won awards for, that stupid thing where those actors read those tweets to them.
It was devastating.
The stupidest fucking thing you ever heard in your life. Embarrassing. Just like
I know.
they have
Can you
these
imagine people saying that online?
Right. Maybe these actors come in and be like, yeah, Sarah Spain is a cunt. And like, it wasn't the person who fucking tweeted it. Or Julie DiCaro is, looks like my dog or whatever. And they're like,
Yeah, I love. My favorite part of that is like the music where it starts like da 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 da. It's all fun and games, and then it gets silent.
embarrassing. And she wins awards. Like, that's what happens. Like, she shames people into giving her stuff. And people like me and others, I guess, at Barstool are like, well, no, you suck. And worse, you shit on us. So we're not going to sit there like everyone else does and feel worried that you're going to tweet out something and these pussies are going to run and hide and give you other jobs. I'm not. This lawsuit is insanity. It is, I think, honestly, I thought about this. I tweeted out last night. I think it's worse than Curtitone's in a lot of ways. Because at least Curtitone was like duped.
Right.
Like, I mean, you know, his
He's
lawsuit.
backed into a corner.
Yeah, his lawsuit's pathetic, but it's like it happened.
Yeah.
You know, this is literally nothing.
What is she suing for? Is there a dollar amount?
Or, maybe Mike will know. Maybe Mike Portnoy will know more. I don't know. But I texted with Dave, and I was like, because Dave said he sort of set up like, do we need to settle? I don't know if you saw the tweet or not.
Oh yeah, his original one.
Yeah, and I was like, who the hell wants to settle? He's like, no. He's like, I was just the way I wrote it. Like, he's like, nobody,
Oh, okay.
nobody. The word settle has never been said in that book.
Okay, good.
Because I was like, man, if somebody fucking settled, I would lose my mind then. If you give her a penny, you're out of your mind.
You know what would be great is if she asked for exactly $52,000 and you guys were
That would
just
be
like,
good.
"Yeah, just take it.
That's fine. I'll give her that.
Justin, I guess we can pay you.
I mean, again, I think Mike's argument is best. Like, I think our defense, I'll talk to Mike Portnoy about this today and the rest of the legal team, is just to play the sound of Justin. Like, it's not even English.
Right.